Peace. What is up, my conscious family? I am OnenO. Welcome back to the blog. Today we're unpacking a subject that is talking all about the symbolism that we see in the world of death and rebirth. Why do we see these symbols so much, and what deeper meaning could they possibly reveal to us? So first, let me just describe the symbol, and then let me describe the implications of the symbol. So if you follow Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, it basically describes the arc of the hero's journey, which starts in one place, eventually gets the call to action, the crossing of the threshold where the hero dives deep into the underworld, otherwise known as the world of chaos. This is symbolizing the unknown. And then deep in the middle of the unknown, the hero is confronted with challenges, both in the sense of experience and also in the sense of direct individuals or entities challenging the hero to the point where the hero actually ends up dying. And then the hero, after it goes through this death, the immediate symbol that follows it is a rebirth. And then after the rebirth, the hero is able to slay the dragon, or to destroy the enemy, if you will, and receive the boon, the treasure, receive the gold. And then it's only after receiving the gold that the hero embarks on returning to where he once came from. And now the whole hero's journey circle is complete. The hero has died to his old self or her old self, has been reborn, has destroyed, has slain the dragon, and received the gold, and now the hero can take the gold back into his normal, everyday world community. And that's the symbolism of the hero's journey. Now, I want to focus entirely on the point of the hero's journey where we go through a death and rebirth experience. And I want to describe it to you in a way that will make sense to everyone on a regular daily level. And that level is, imagine where you want to go with your life. Let's say that you are fascinated with poetry and writing words, and you want to become a very successful spoken word artist. Maybe that's your goal. Let's just choose that one. So if that's your goal, and you want to be this world-renowned artist who knows how to work with words, well, focus on where you are right now for a moment and look at every part of your life that is out of alignment with that goal. Like, for instance, let's say you have a terrible work ethic. You don't like to put in 4 hours a day to building your craft. That is a part of your personality that must die in order for you to fully embody who you would like to become. So if you can see one day that the version of yourself that is highly successful being who you want to be, imagine that is another version of you, and that you must die to the present version of you in order to be reborn as that successful version of you, if we want to use those terms. So, like in my own life, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a professional musician in the game. I wanted to tour the world and play music from a stage internationally. So when I was in high school, I lived in just south of Portland, Oregon. I grew up on the West Coast. Small town. It didn't have as many opportunities as, let's say, Los Angeles did, which is where I moved. So the death and rebirth that I experienced at this phase of my life is that I had to die to my old self, the self that was comfortable living in Oregon, comfortable with that group of friends, comfortable with my job and with everything that I was doing up there. I had to literally die to that version of me in order to be reborn as the version of me who lives in LA and is pursuing the professional music industry of Los Angeles, and who eventually became that. And I got to tour the world, and I still do tour the world, and that is the version of me now. But when I was younger, that version was just an idea. And so I had to go through a symbolic or a metaphorical death and rebirth experience. And that, in this example, is summarized as my move from Oregon to Los Angeles and completely transforming my life. Letting go of all of my comfort zones that I had in Oregon, putting myself into the unknown, into the world of chaos, into the underworld where we know very little. And I had to go through the rebirthing experience to eventually slay the dragon and grab my gold. And now I'm able to take the gold that I have and share it with the rest of the world. And you will be able to do this too. This is why it's mythology. This is why it's symbolism, because it applies to every single human being, no matter what experience you are going through. When you imagine yourself to be further down the road, more successful, more fulfilled in what you desire to do with your life, if you can see that version of you in your mind's eye, and you analyze that version of yourself with who you are today, you will have to let go of the version that you are today in order to receive the version of yourself that you would like to become, in order to embody that. And so let's hit it on the head by talking about the idea of failure versus success. We think that we are where we are, and that we need we can see that we would like to succeed. We can see that I am here and success is in the future, right? First of all, that's a little out of alignment. We can't actually have such a linear view in order to activate the law of attraction. But in this view, it's important to see that you and who you are today is a version of you that is not that version of you that you would like to become. So it logically follows that inevitably you will have to change, or I should say it this way: when you become the version of yourself that you can see that is successful, you will have to literally die to your old actions, behaviors, thoughts, and so on. So, for instance, if you're used to being a struggling artist, well, when you are successful, does that mean that you will never have struggles? No, but your struggles will disappear in the sense of how they look today. And the weird thing about the shadow side of ourselves is that we attach ourselves deeply to our struggles. We attach ourselves to the negative stories that give us something to talk about. You know, if you are an artist and your whole life has just been failure after failure after failure, there comes a point where you start to identify with that. And then your identification with that state is what perpetuates you staying in that state. So in order to kickstart your success and the version of yourself that is totally succeeding, you have to actually die to the version of yourself that is not successful. You have to let go of your identification with your failures. You have to literally figure out a way to let those disappear from your experience. And that is why it's like a death, because it's part of your identity right now. Part of your identity is the struggle, is the experience of lack. So if you want the experience of abundance, it logically makes sense that you need to die to the mindset of lack. And the reason why the symbol of death is used here versus just something a little bit more lighthearted, like a change of mind or something like that, is because when something dies, it's gone forever. When something dies, it leaves reality as it existed. And so therefore, you must die to who you used to be, to the version of you that is unsuccessful, to the version of you that is unfulfilled and unhappy. You, either A, through voluntary action, or B, through the experiences of your journey, must go through the experience of dying to that version of yourself. It'll either be voluntarily killed by your own inner landscape, or it will be involuntarily killed by the journey itself. You will not be the version of you today when you are successful. You will be the new reborn version of yourself in the successful form. So I hope this makes sense to you. I could talk for a lot longer, but I'm going to end this video here and just ask you the question: what do you need to die to today in order to become reborn as the version of yourself that you can see within your imagination, that you desire to become in the world? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching the video. Check out more of my videos if you resonate with me and with what I talk about. And give this video a like, consider subscribing. And until I see you again along the journey, oneness in sound, I am OnenO. Peace, everybody.